Hi everybody, Jennifer Cooper with JKC Mobile Notary here, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about how to move from planning to leaping and why you don't need a dramatic event to pivot in your life or your career. We're going to blend a couple things here, so I hope you're ready for it. Go ahead and hang in there because here we go. Hey there, I'm so glad that you're here. And before we get started, if you would click that like button or subscribe and hit that little bell so that every time I post a blog, you'll be alerted, which is every Sunday morning. I would love it. I would love to have you be a part of this journey with me. Okay, that being said, let's get into this topic. So I've written a couple different blog posts about the catalyst to my leap into my career, about why you should stop planning and start leaping into your future, into the things that you want to do. And I'm going to kind of blend them together because I think it's really important for new businesses and new business people, or people who are thinking about starting a business, to get a little bit of a reminder about the what's really needed for you to take a leap of faith, right? You hear that key word is faith. So we'll get into it. But first, I wanted to share with you a little bit about my journey and how I became a notary. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because it's very detailed, but I did write a blog post about the catalyst event for me. But why I'm sharing this with you is because I wish every day that I had taken the plunge on this well before my catalytic event that pushed me into this, because I had been researching this for years before I finally took the plunge. Had I done it when I first found it, I would have been able to ride the wave of the notary and the loan signings that happened the last 2 years during COVID. And it would have given me a ton of experience and a great foundation to grow my business. But I didn't. And I didn't for a lot of reasons. I didn't jump because I wasn't sure. It's starting a new business, right? I have a high school son who's going to be starting college, and the idea that I'm responsible solely for bringing in my portion of the income to help provide that for him so he doesn't go into debt seemed daunting to me. And it should be daunting. Sorry, I'm moving cords around. It should be daunting. It's a adventure and it's a risk, right? Starting your own business is an adventure and a risk. But I knew well before I started that this wasn't that much of a risk, that it was a foundational position. It's a career that's been around since the millennia, way before that. And it was something that if I put my energy and go-getness, if that's a thing, towards, that I would be successful at. But I didn't trust myself, and I didn't trust the system. And so I spent years and years and years researching. You will hear people say I was the most prepared notary to be a notary ever, because it's kind of the thing I do. If something piques my interest and I'm kind of interested in it, I will research it to death. Before we had chickens, I knew everything there was to know about chickens. I didn't live on a farm when I wanted chickens. I lived in a property in town. But I read and I researched. And when we finally moved to a property where we could have chickens, I knew everything there was to know about chickens, and we had chickens. So that's a weird analogy, but let's talk briefly about my event. So I wrote a blog post. And the reason I wrote this blog post is because I did an interview with Bill Soroka earlier this year and talked about the life event, my near-death experience that was a catalyst to me launching this business. And I got so many phone calls and emails and messages about what my near-death experience was, which is a weird thing to ask somebody, but I got a lot of it. And so I decided to just put it out into the world once and for all in a blog post. It is co-written with my husband, because this event I was not 100% consciously there for. So very quickly, 3 years ago, this Labor Day will be 3 years, 3 or 4, I think it's 3 years ago. I had an ectopic pregnancy that ruptured, and I nearly lost my life. We've had a long journey of infertileness and miscarriages and lots of things in my reproductive life. But this one nearly took my life. The surgeon told me after the fact, like on my follow-up, that there was maybe a 10-minute window of life or death. The details are a lot. I'm not going to get into it, but that was my near-death experience. And the reason it was a catalyst to me taking this job is that in the days, months, and I didn't launch my business right away, right? I was really wrestling with, why am I still here? And what is my purpose? And I was wrestling with all that. But in all of that wrestling, what I discovered was missing was this fear of the unknown, fear of stepping out when you're not 100% sure if the ground is going to hold you. That fear was gone. And it helps, right, to not have fear when you leap. It negates the faith a little bit when you're just not afraid to take that leap. And so that was what sent me forward. I didn't want to work for anybody else. I didn't want to be based on anybody else's schedule. I didn't want to make anybody else money. I wanted to make my own money. I wanted to be there with my son, who had chosen to go to a non-traditional high school, which required me to be home more often. There was a lot of factors that factored into me finally taking this jump. And so while I tell you that, I want to tell you, you don't need a major life event to push you off the ledge. You just need to jump. And that is a scary thing to do. And it is something that a lot of people are not willing to risk. I have the benefit of having a partner at home. My husband is a full-time employed person, and we've been living primarily off of the benefit of his income for years. So I have that benefit, and I know not all of you have that benefit. So I'm not sitting here telling you to take this risk, come hell or high water, without understanding the things that could happen with your finances, right? You might need to start a little slower than I did. You might need to do it part-time. You need to keep a full-time job and start your side hustle or your new career on the weekends or at nights. I mean, there's still ways to do this, and those still are considered leaps, by the way. Putting your toe out is still a leap. Taking a leap of faith does not mean abandoning all of your income and just going for it and hoping to God you can make it work and still put food on the table. I don't think that's a leap of faith. I think that's a little bit irresponsible. But I do think there is a portion of a leap of faith, even if it's doing it part-time or doing it on the side or discovering the underbelly of all of it without it being completely your sole source of income. So that's what we're going to talk about today, about the people like me who plan and research. I want to tell you to put the pen down and shut the computer and grab your nicest business outfit and hit the streets. Get out there and get started, because you can plan it to death. I don't know about you. I am a 44-year-old adult, and I will tell you that what I have discovered in my life, that plans very rarely turn into reality when just written on a piece of paper, right? There's a process to making things manifest in your life, and writing it down all day long is only a small fraction of that. So let's talk about it. I found this amazing article, and you're going to find a couple things linked down below are going to be my blog post about my near-death event, my blog post about taking a leap of faith, the article that I'm basing a lot of this information on, which I find awesome, and I'm so excited to share it with you. All of that, plus all my contact information if you guys need to get in touch with me, down below. So this article is called, I'm having issues. It's from the Happiness Planner. It's 7 things that will likely happen when you take a leap of faith in yourself. Ding, 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 ding. This is the big bell that I want to hit here. Your leap of faith isn't in anybody else. Your leap of faith isn't in the market. Your leap of faith isn't in what everybody else is doing. Your leap of faith is faith in yourself, faith in you and what you're capable of doing. So I'm going to stop right here because somebody asked me this question or suggested this. I think it was Bill Soroka in our interview. You're alive. Yes. You are a functioning human adult. Yes. You have paid bills. You have raised children. You have graduated college. You have learned to drive a car. You have mitigated storms and fires and all these things in your life. You have worked for somebody else, right? You're probably good at a lot of things. You're probably really good at things that would help you in your business that you want to. And that is what we're talking about, by the way. Taking a leap of faith and starting something new is starting your side hustle or starting your new business, which is scary. But you've been good at something your whole life. So the fear that overwhelms you in trying something new or stepping out of the safety of your current situation, it's not putting your faith in anything else or anybody else. It's putting your faith in yourself and what you're capable of doing. And I'm here to tell you, you're capable of a ton. You're capable of doing a ton. More than you ever imagined, but we are capable of doing so much. So, I love this topic. Let's get into the 7 things that will likely happen when you take a leap of faith in yourself. I love this article, guys. I'm heated. I'm sorry. But it's true, right? We have been living and functioning humans way before we decided to start that side hustle or that coffee shop or that notary business or to get my real estate license. You've been doing stuff way before that. So let's take that into account when we think we're going to walk out into the the Wild West and have no foundation under our feet. The foundation under your feet is you. Okay? So, 7 things that will likely happen when you take a leap of faith in yourself. Number 1, you will discover who you truly are. Okay. Seriously? I had somebody tell me once, I'm 50 years old. If I don't know who I am, when will I? I think as we grow and we change and things change, who we are and what we believe in and what we stand for changes. And so taking a chance on yourself exposes the abilities that you have that you didn't know you have. And it can really make you discover new things about who you are. She has a little quote here I want to read. She goes, I realize that for a young person to completely grow into an adult who feels whole from within, one must have the freedom to experience, to explore, to grow, to dream, to try, and to completely be oneself. Sounds like a big order, right? But the truth is, it's 100% true. So she says to completely discover who you are, you have to take a leap of faith and throw yourself into the unknown, getting away from the same old environment that might be holding you back. Guys, this could not be career-based. It could be moving towns or apartments or jobs or relationships, or it could be a bazillion different things. So I'm not pigeonholing this for you, but taking a leap of faith and trying something new will do nothing but grow you. Even if it doesn't work, it's going to teach you. It's going to give you the opportunity to grow. So I love this. Okay, number 2, you will learn to make yourself feel whole. She's getting into some serious self-worth stuff here, and I'm glad that she's talking about it because it does happen when you I'm not going to lie to you. When I'm going through my first year as a notary and I am hitting every single goal and mark that I set in front of me, but I am working my butt off, I'm not going to lie to you. It felt amazing. I was amazed at myself. I was amazed that I was accomplishing this. When people were calling me their mentor or their coach because I was not taking off in the races and leaving people behind me, as new notaries came behind me, I reached out and helped any way I could. It made me feel like I can do this. Like I am good at this. Like this is where I'm meant to be. And it really gave me the ability to feel complete. Not that I was incomplete. I think that's the thing, right? When we're single and we get married, we feel complete. We weren't incomplete, but now we're complete with another person. When we have kids, we feel complete. We were not incomplete, but now we have kids and we're more complete. And when you accomplish things that you reach out to do, you can feel complete. Not that you were not complete, but now you're more complete. So I hope that's making sense. She says, this is the highest form of the human's needs. To self-actualize is to become whole, to feel content, to feel happy from within. Oftentimes, I'm just going to quote her because it's good. Oftentimes, who you truly are evolves as you grow. You become more patient and calmer as you get older. That couldn't be farther from the truth for me. You become wiser and deeper. You become more intuitive and in touch with yourself. However, you will never truly experience a deeper joy and feel whole or satisfied with yourself unless you know who you truly are and you act accordingly. I love it. Okay, number 3. You will always feel excited and anew if you take a leap of faith. I can't disagree with this. I think that as you do it more often, you're going to get used to being excited about not knowing what's going to happen because you've done it so much and you've seen the outcome. Sometimes maybe sucks, but most of the time is good. You've done it enough to know that no matter what, you're going to grow from this. You will innately be more excited about taking those leaps and taking those chances. And it'll just feel more exciting. You will have no fear. I don't know if you'll have no fear, but that fear we were talking about at the beginning that was removed for me, that fear in the unknown, that fear that holds people back for forever sometimes will almost completely disappear as you start taking one step after another step after another step out into the unknown and making it yours, right? Over and over, you will develop this mental strength where fear doesn't exist anymore because you have gotten used to fighting against your fear. Because truly, taking a leap of faith is fighting against your innate fear. So, number 5 is you'll be more intuitive. I'm sorry, my son's in here and his chair squeaks a lot, so I'm sorry for the background noise. Because no matter what decision you end up making, she says, the ones your heart wanted that you didn't end up following are the ones that you will regret most in life. This is still about doing, right? The more you do it, the easier this gets. The more you do it, the more excited you get about doing it. The more you do, the more you understand who you are and yourself. So that you would be more intuitive makes 100% sense to me. Number 6, you will feel a complete sense of freedom. How can you not? I want you to think about the guy who thought, I want to try base jumping. For the record, I will never try base jumping. I don't have wings. I'm not meant to fly. So that's just my thing. But let's just say you do. Let's just say you want to try base jumping. Can you imagine if you got past the absolute terror of jumping off a cliff and this thin fabric being responsible for the weight of your body and landing on the ground? Can you imagine the freedom, the joy, the excitement you would feel when you're flying through the air, having just jumped off that cliff? I think it's the same in any other situation where you're taking a leap of faith for yourself. By the way, your leap of faith does not need to look like anybody else's, right? Okay, what did she say about this? She has little notes here. You're a victim of the rules you live by, and acceptance is the key to be truly free. And number 7, you will achieve great things. This is so true. No matter what happens, The more you take these leaps, the more you reach outside of yourself, the accomplishments you get are just going to start adding up. And you'll achieve the things that you've always wanted, but you have to jump. You have to get off your plan and jump and leap into your future. Okay, I've been berating and I get it and I'm sorry, but I love this. And I didn't know that this was true until I did it. Right? I may have had the benefit of having something removed in me besides my fallopian tube with a giant hole in it that removed my fear and gave me a more of this I don't want to waste my time worrying about things anymore. I just want to do them. It gave me that. And I get that that might be a benefit for me. So what I'm telling you is you don't need that. You need to step out. That's it. It doesn't have to be a leap off a cliff. It doesn't have to start that way. It could be little steps. I want to tell you something. A confession, okay? I have been a planner my whole life. I probably have gone through millions of notebooks about just making lists of things I want to do. Plans and ideas and possible businesses and new adventures and things like that. I'm going to give you a list of some of them, okay? Now listen, all of these I dove so deep into in my whole research mode that I get into, but none of them came to be because I let fear stop me from stepping forward. Okay, the first one, tiny house living. Guys, I love this idea. I love the idea of living with so much less that you get to experience life outside of the things that you have, right? In the house that I don't have to clean, that's not that big, and we can move wherever we want. And I love that idea. I wish it was still a thing. It's just not for me. I love the idea of having all my needs and wants in a house built on a trailer and driving across the country or the world, working on the road and living our best lives. I am living my best life and I'm not in a trailer, but I love this idea. Off-grid living. Look at this has not left my purview. I believe that I would have been a hippie in a past life, and I love the idea of giving back to the planet and not taking so much from it. I try very hard to limit my waste and all of my, I try not to eat processed foods and bring packaging into the house if I can avoid it. And I'm not a doomsday junkie. It's more about giving back and living a symbiotic relationship with the planet, and that's kind of part of what that would do. And quite frankly, if I ever come into a huge amount of money, I will do it. So I had a business idea of doing an Etsy stationery and planner sticker business. It's a great idea. It requires more creativity than I have in that area, so that never happened. I wanted to be a flower farmer. I have the property to do that. I wanted to create a sustainable flower farm, and I was going to learn how to make arrangements and sell them or give them away, and I can still do this after 7 years of living here and having completely lost the battle with gophers and rabbits and squirrels. I just don't have the energy. So the thing is we all have dreams and we all have ideas and we all have things that we'd like to do or like to try. We might have special gifts that look like they can turn into a business. And can you imagine all the things that you could possibly experience in life could you imagine what my life would look like if I had accomplished all of those things? I would be doing these videos with a flower wreath on my head, barefoot in muumuu dresses, and I would be thrilled to death. But I am still thrilled to death about where I am today and what I get to do, and that I get to share this with you and to encourage you. So, this is getting long, and I'm sorry, but please, I beg you, do your research, fine, but don't spend an eternity at it, and finally put the pen down, put on your shoes, put on your pants, step outside the door and take a chance in who you are. Because you are awesome. I know you are. because we are. And I am so excited about your future and the journey you're going to take that I would love to hear about it in the comments below. Tell me about the things that you're dreaming about doing. Let me encourage you to take that leap. As always, guys, if you have any questions, you have any concerns, I would love to hear from you. So feel free to leave a comment. You can email me, you can text me, you can call me. I would love all of it. I'm really glad you're here, and I hope that this helped you today. I love this topic, and I have been semi-preaching this for the last 2 years, and I just hope that it helped you today to just take that leap. Until next week, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you had a great holiday, and we will see you soon.